What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video. My name is Mo, and today I'll be going through my transfer plans for Game Week 6. We have just begun Game Week 5, and there's 4 games that have already taken place on the first day of the midweek fixtures. So there's a lot we've already got to digest, a lot that's taken place before the deadline for Game Week 5 and after with these 4 games that have taken place so far. So how am I looking so far? What's gone on? Because I didn't do a live deadline stream due to work commitments, but I've got 1 point so far from the one player that started, which is Cucurella. Reece James was like a final minute kind of in the last 2 hours. We got an update in regards to him being ill, not travelling with the team and not being available. From the information that I read, it looked like it was just going to be a 1-game miss. Now, since owning Reece James from the start of the season, obviously his price has gone up due to ownership. And if I took him out of my squad, I won't be able to afford him back in. Now, they're going to be playing West Ham over the weekend, so I assume he should be fit and ready to go on the weekend. They lost the game tonight, so even more likelihood that Tuchel will do his best to get him back into the squad, because Chelsea now, having lost 2 games in the first 5 games of the season, want to get their games, wins in terms of the games that they're playing back in order. So I kind of thought last minute that, if I play this transfer, what am I going to gain? Am I going to gain anything in the long term? I don't want to go without Reece James. So I kind of took the hit and I thought, you know what? If he plays, there's a 0.1% chance of him playing from what I read. I was like, do you know what, I'll take the hit. And if not, I've got Andreas on the bench. I've had him since Game Week 1, and it's about time those 4.5 million gives me some form of return, even if it was just 3 points for 2 points and 1 for the assist. Not assist, sorry, 1 for the clean sheet bonus, but the assist definitely did help as well, which has got me 6 points. So he should be coming on for Reece James. So that takes my points total to 7 points. Now, I started this game week around 1.54 mil rank. At the moment, because Andreas is on my bench, his points aren't being counted, so my rank on the FPL site is showing around 1.9 mil. However, when I look on the live FPL website itself, it shows me that I'm about 1.3 mil at the moment. So gone upwards, gone well so far. Just got to wait for the next fixtures to go through. But all of that's taking place, guys, now. But what we need to think about in terms of our teams is it's going to be quick and fast before we know it. We have to get our transfer plans in, what's going on, what's taking place. So, guys, I'm going to go through what my transfer plans are looking like for Game Week 6. If you guys are new around here, give us a like and hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, join the FPL INKLING channel in itself, and let's make this channel a success. So, who's going to be my first kind of transfer or target? Wilfried Zaha. So everyone knows my affiliation or my love for Wilfried. I absolutely love him as a player and an FPL asset. I haven't owned him this season so far, and I always think, I've missed the bandwagon. But guys, 5 games that have gone so far, he started 4 and he scored in all 4 games. One absolute machine so far this season. How does his fixtures look like for the next 5 game weeks? So Newcastle away, Manchester United at home, Brighton away, Chelsea at home, Leeds at home, and Leicester away. So I think, looking on those fixtures, I think the difficult fixtures for him are going to be Brighton away. I think Brighton have done extremely well. Chelsea at home is not going to be an easy game either, but otherwise the other games I think are pretty manageable, and they look pretty good in terms of someone like Wilfried Zaha to test those defences. I had a lot of questions this week, will Wilfried Zaha start? I had no information in regards to it. Nothing much was said by Patrick Vieira or Palace in regards to how he's looking, or is he fit enough to go ahead, but he's back, looking to go, and absolutely he was amazing. I just seen the highlights a few minutes ago of the game, and this guy is an absolute machine, and he's in really good form at the moment. So someone that I'm thinking of at the moment, maybe potentially with the Reece James transfer at the moment, I could look to play my 2 transfers, maybe get Zaha in. There's a lot of thought process going through my head at the moment, but potentially this guy is number 1 on my list that I'm looking at the moment to bring into my squad for Game Week 6. Moving forward to Game Week 6, second transfer plan for me is Perisic. Now, like for like, comes in at 5.5 mil. Spurs haven't played their game as of yet when I'm recording this video, so I'm not too sure if he is going to be starting this midweek fixture against West Ham. But let's say if he is rotated, he's very likely to start the Fulham home game. Now, that might be a really good fixture that I could target. Let's just say, for example, if Reece James does not get fit, it's a like for like substitution, and it looks like someone that I've expressed in my previous videos that I do want to own him at some point of the season. Maybe this is the time to get him in. I know there's a Manchester City game after that will be there. Potentially, it might not be a fixture that I want him to play in. But then Leicester, Arsenal, going to be a tough game, and then Brighton and Everton. So there's a mixture of fixtures coming up as well, and there's Champions League games to manage in between as well. So Perisic might be someone that I could do like a one kind of like week transfer. So Perisic coming in, and then Reece James coming back into my squad if his kind of price goes down due to transfers taking place. But again, there's a lot to look forward to in terms of Perisic himself. I think he's a phenomenal player, and Reece James, getting the illness pretty much at the wrong time. I'm not even sure. I'm not 100%. It might not even be COVID, to be fair, but there's not much noise around it. But if it's just a fever, if it's just a unwell kind of virus, then he should be good to go if he's been given the rest midweek for the weekend. But Perisic on the agenda. He's been on the agenda for the couple of game weeks now for me. If I need to bring him in, then it's a like-for-like replacement. And I do have enough funds to get him in to my squad. And now the next player who's also in some amazing form as well. So 3 goals, guys, so far in the last 2 game weeks. So he scored again yesterday against Southampton. What a great goal. I was absolutely, surprised by his, ability to get into the right place at the right time. Yes, he did it for City as well, but he's playing in a Chelsea side at the moment that are actually struggling. So he's actually kind of like the most informed / focal point of Chelsea. And I think he's kind of carrying him as well up front, because Havertz has been a disappointment. Mount has been a disappointment. You've got Kovacic who's returning from injury. Kante's been injured. And then, you've got Mount who's not had a great start either so far. But Sterling is kind of carrying the whole kind of weight and expectations of Chelsea up front at the moment, and he's worth, the value of price over 10 mil in terms of price wise for FPL. But managers who've owned him and stuck by him, good on you guys. He's definitely been worthwhile in the last couple of weeks for sure, and he's returned really, really well. So we can go through some of the fixtures for Chelsea. West Ham at home is their next fixture. West Ham, they won their first game over the weekend in game week 4. They have been disappointed for the first 3 game weeks. Will they come back and continue their good form, or will they go back to how they started the season in itself? They've got Fulham away. Again, it's a derby. Should be a good game. Liverpool at home. Crystal Palace, Wolves and Aston Villa. So there's a lot of defences in there that Sterling can continue his good form of scoring. He's kind of carrying on from where he left off for Man City, because this guy's just been absolutely insane. If you look at his record for kind of appearances, goals and assists, it's amazing. Despite getting limited starts sometimes for Manchester City with sub appearances, he still turns up and gets goals and assists week in, week out. So this guy is someone that I might be looking at even in my wild card, because those fixtures after Liverpool game is something that I might want to target with Crystal Palace, Wolves and Aston Villa's defences, with Sterling in good form, and maybe other players like Mount, Kovacic or even Ziyech hitting some kind of form in the Chelsea side, might actually trigger me to get him into my squad, where I can get a bit more depth. He could even be a differential at that point, because people might be buying other players at that moment in time. So Sterling is someone that I've looked at very closely. I've watched the Southampton game this evening, and in terms of what he was adding in terms of up front, he does give them another dimension, and it's a differential pick as we speak, because not many managers at the time of recording this video own Sterling. So there could be a knee-jerk towards him, but it's someone that I am keeping an eye out, and especially the fixtures after the Liverpool game, there's Crystal Palace, Wolves and Aston Villa. Those 3 fixtures could be something that I look to target in the short run. But if I do want to bring him in for the Fulham game, that could be something that I would look to target, because that could be a good game where he could actually get in behind the Fulham defence, because it's a local derby. Fulham are playing aggressively, but they are susceptible to conceding, which they have done pretty much in every game they've played so far this season. But it's worthwhile seeing. Sterling's got a bit of form. Let's see what he can bring to our squads. Last but not least is Kieran Trippier. So there's a bit of a cloud around him, because Newcastle haven't played their game as of yet, but he's got a 75% chance of playing, because he has got a knock potentially. We don't know the extent of this injury. We haven't heard anything from Newcastle, so potentially he could not feature in game week 5. But looking at his fixtures from game week 6 onwards, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Bournemouth, Fulham and Brentford. Now the game fixture is Liverpool, so if we can get a bit more clarity around how he's looking, potentially I could even bring Trippier in for Reece James. So that could be someone that I look to target to bring into my squad, because that was someone I'm looking to bring in for Cucurella. But one thing about Cucurella, guys, that I must say, even in midweek, the guy still played 90 minutes at centre-back, left centre-back at the end of the game. They went to 3 at the back, 2 wing-backs. When Chilwell came on, he was still on the pitch as well. So Azpilicueta went off. So he's still getting the 90 minutes on the pitch, and he's getting into forward positions and roles. So I'm pretty satisfied with Cucurella at the moment, guys. Unless, he starts losing his minutes eventually and, it goes out of favour from Tuchel. I'm not too sure. But at the moment, I think he's in the good books, and he's done pretty well. Yes, they've conceded. He had an amazing clearance off the line. I'm not sure if I don't think he's getting any bonus points for that. But I think he should have, definitely, because that clearance could have made it 3-1 and ended the game. Yes, they eventually lost, but, great performance again from Cucurella. But in terms of Trippier itself, just want to find out how, soon he'll be back, or will he even feature in the Liverpool game, because he's not ruled out completely, right? So if he does play the Liverpool game, he should be good to go moving forward. And is that someone that I can bring into my squad? I just have to, keep an eye out for that for now. But this is another player that I have been looking at for the last couple of game weeks. And this was the time that I was looking to bring him in for Cucurella. And he gets a flag next to him in terms of whether he will play or not. So we'll have to keep a lookout for him. Let's see how it looks for Trippier in itself. So far, guys, 7 points from my team. There's 6 points coming off Andreas onto my pitch, from Reece James going on to the bench because of not being featured in the game. So 7 from 2, I'll take that, to be fair, considering, one of my main defenders has been ruled out pretty much in the last couple of hours before the deadline itself. So a good start. Let's hope we can get a green arrow, get back within the top 1 mil and make our route all the way through to the top 500k, then 100k, and then, the sky's the limit. So this is how it's looking, guys. Fingers crossed, this is what the team looks like. Salah's captaincy, let's hope he gets me a return. And Haaland as well against Nottingham Forest gets me a return as well. And so do my other players that are playing as well. So thank you so much, guys, for persisting. It's really hard to get all these videos in back-to-back with these midweek games, especially with all the work and stuff that's taking place in my personal life. But thank you so much for being patient, and thank you for your support. Keep hitting that like button, and please keep subscribing to FPL INKLING. The family is growing. And let's continue to grow. I hope you guys have a great game week 5 and get your transfers in for game week 6. Remember, guys, it's only a couple of days away, which is Saturday again. So get those in as soon as possible. Good luck, guys. Submit your squads, make your transfers, get ahead of the curve, and I'll see you soon with some more videos. Take care.